The documentary The Devil Made Me Do It is an observational documentary that incorporates interviews and also archive footage from past events. The documentary incorporates a narrator that uses the voice of God to direct the documentary and to tell the audience what is going on. The narrator himself is never actually on the screen, so he is referred to as using the voice of God, as the audience never actually see him. There are many themes that are also portrayed in the documentary. For instance, the documentary looks at Marilyn Manson's influence on the media, and also other themes are portrayed such as youth, crime, religion, devil worship, good versus bad, which is a binary opposition. As well as this, the documentary is also considered an open documentary, as no conclusions are reached about Marilyn Manson, and the discussion and debate is left open at the end of the documentary. The narrative structure of the documentary is also considered to be non-linear, as the documentary is not straight to the point and incorporates many different arguments and theories. In terms of camera work, the interviews are set up in interesting ways, employing the rule of thirds, where the subject is situated on 1/3 of the screen, as it is seen to be most interesting point of the screen, and also as it is a typical convention of a lot of documentaries. As well as that, you can also see other aspects of camera work employed, where Marilyn Manson is filmed from a low angle shot that may signify power. Also, the crane shot is also used in the archive footage of the concert to show how many fans were there, and as well as that, establishing shots are often used for the setting. Another aspect of camera work is through handheld cameras that are often used in documentaries, as documenting may mean travelling, and handheld cameras are ideal for this given an aspect of documentaries. Mise-en-scène is also important. In the documentary, we can see how lighting has been used in the interview with Marilyn Manson, where half of his face is lit and the other half is in darkness, perhaps suggesting that there is two sides to Marilyn Manson. As well as that, he is interviewed in a cloakroom that may signify normality and suggest that Marilyn Manson isn't too different from the rest of us. As well as that, we can also see religious iconography throughout the documentary, linking back to the themes that are present. Sound is also important in the documentary. Narration is used as it gives information and understanding to the audience and highlights key elements of exposition. As well as that, there is also a translator whose voice is lowered in volume so that they can hear the translator over the people who are speaking. Music is also used, and it's often Marilyn Manson's music, which has been employed both diegetic and non-diegetic, as well as being contrasted by choir and hymn music to make the debate more open and show the contrast between Marilyn Manson and religion. Editing is also used in the documentary. There is a montage, which is another element of exposition, and also cutaways to help with editing of the interviews and provide more visual effects for the audience. Another interesting feature of this documentary is how the producers have added archive material through the film. They have old videos of Marilyn Manson's concert and other media that has been produced not directly for the documentary. And the final aspect of documentaries that is also present is through graphics. We can see how that people's names and titles are added to the interviews through graphics, giving the audience more information about the documentary and the people speaking. These are some screenshots from the documentary. The first one is the title screen, where we can see how graphics has been used on the documentary to create this title scene. As well as that, we can see the religious iconography with the religious cross at the end of the T, and the whole graphics itself portray the contrast between religion and the debate about good versus bad. This is one of the shots from the documentary where you can see an element of camera work using a high angle shot to suggest that the people in the frame may be not as important as Manson himself, and that Manson may be more superior However, we can see through the makeup element that they fall into the gothic genre, and also the youth of the themes that we talked about, and really contrast the theme of the documentary. This screenshot, however, uses a low angle shot that may highlight Marilyn Manson's power, and we can also see how the rule of thirds is being applied, how Manson is on 1/3 of the screen, and that his name is in graphics at the bottom left. As well as that, we can also see how that the camera work has been included from using a close-up of Manson, suggesting that he is the most important person in the documentary, as he is who it's about and what he says is of significance. This screenshot highlights an establishing shot where the setting is portrayed and will cut into the rest of the documentary, so in order to make continuity editing